Okay. Welcome everybody, and thanks for your time this evening, or this morning, whenever you're watching this, if you're watching the replay. My name's Alison Rosa. I live over in the Pilbara in WA, originally from Sydney, and the Sunshine Coast for the last 20 years. I'm a Pro 3 in our company, and I'm so excited to share this with you. This information has literally changed my health, changed my life, many of my family and friends' lives, and I'm here sharing because this is just so important, and we all need to understand, how we can biohack our body and take control of our own biology. So here I am with my family, my beautiful husband of nearly 21 years, and my 4 kids. So they range from 16 here and to 3. So they keep me very busy. And it was actually here on Fraser Island where we holiday that there was a reason that I needed to take control of my own biology. So I was stung by Neurocandy. I don't know exactly, besides the pain, the excruciating pain and the illness that followed, I don't know exactly what was that, because 2 weeks later I contracted Ross River. So my body just went into a tailspin. The doctor said it was like having rheumatoid arthritis to 90% of my body. So I was really inflamed. I could barely walk. I wasn't leaving the house. I became quite depressed. Life was just really difficult, and it had never been difficult before. I'd always just been able to press that reset button and keep going, but not with this. I didn't leave the house for quite a few months. My husband, we together were running public swimming pools, and so he just had to pick up the slack and keep going to work for me, because I just couldn't leave the house. It was hard enough getting up and looking after the kids. So that's why I'm here, because this is something that has touched my life. I was on lots of naturopathic products, but within, I would say, 3 weeks, I could feel the activation work within my body. I was able to walk a little bit more with less pain, not be so fatigued, and then eventually, gain control back of, my everyday. And I wasn't dictated to by the pain or the emotions that I was going through. So I'm going to start sharing these slides with you. The first one here is, I guess, just a little bit about what I'm going to talk to you about and how it can change your life or the ones, that you love. So this is a picture of my mum, who I sadly lost 2 years ago. And this is where I realized the power of taking control of our own biology. So nutrigenomics and biohacking are 2 things you're going to hear a lot of during this presentation. And basically, they're how we can take control. So my mum passed of pancreatic cancer. She had breast cancer 20 years before that. And it turned my whole life upside down. I think, there's definitely that saying, there are gifts in grief that, you do learn, and you just can't go back to living how you normally lived before. So this is why I'm here, and this is why I'm sharing this, because, we can take control of our own biology, and it's through nutrigenomics and biohacking. And LifeVantage, the company that you're going to hear about today, are at the forefront of nutrigenomics and biohacking. So let's just have a little rundown on what nutrigenomics is. So it's the ability to use nutrition, naturally occurring compounds that affect our gene expression, and it means that we're no longer at the mercy of our DNA. It's huge. It's crazy. It's food. It's what we know. Medicine is the food, and food is our medicine. So that leaves us to where we come in, because we're at the forefront of biohacking. So that's taking control of your own biology. And it's the desire to understand how the body and the mind that you've been given, using cutting edge technology and science, to become the very best version of yourself. So I'm going to explain here now, and I'd love for you during this presentation, to see how this can implement into your life, or those are the ones that you love. So you might something might, just get your attention, and you might want to learn a little bit more about the products. You might want to learn a little bit more about the business, or you might just want to learn a little bit more about the science. So please get in contact with the person that invited you to watch this, because they'll be able to help you work out how this can change your life, because, yeah, definitely will, I promise. Okay, 5 ways we can biohack your body. The first one is through your cells. So oxidative stress is at the root cause of over 200 diseases, and they're things that cancer, any autoimmune disease, MS, even down to acne is linked to oxidative stress. So what we do here is we can significantly reduce the oxidative stress within your body by 40% in 30 days by activating your NRF2 pathway. So our Protandim NRF2 synergizer does that. And if you take a look at this slide, the picture you're looking at here is a live blood analysis. So this was done by a chiropractor and a naturopath. And this was the before and after 30 days live blood analysis. And it's amazing. If you look at the picture here with the white next to the apple that's browning, you'll see all the white parts. Well, that's the oxidative stress within our cells. So that's, the damage that's being done on a daily basis just through oxidation. We can't escape it. We get it from the food we eat, the emotional stresses that we have, and all the toxins and everything that we absorb within our bodies. There's so many, we can't escape oxidative stress. And if you look over on the left, you'll see that's the live blood analysis 30 days afterwards, just 30 days. And that's because we can reduce it by 40% in 30 days, the oxidative stress. That's just crazy. So I want you to just take a look at the graph here. Now, the graph is showing you all the fundamentals of what the individual ingredients can do. So the NRF2 synergizer is made up of green tea, ashwagandha, bacopa, milk thistle, and turmeric. Now, they're all amazing, and they're all, really, healthy for our bodies, and you've probably heard of one, if not all of them. But together in their synergy, they're 1,800% more effective in the Protandim, because we are activating the NRF2 pathway, which means your body's able to do that itself. We're not supplementing it. We're not putting in any of those ingredients and topping up. We're actually activating our bodies to do it themselves. So it's profound. So that's Biohack 1. That's our NRF2 activator. Biohack 2 is our mitochondria. So with our NRF1 pathway, we can increase the mitochondria within our cell. And the mitochondria are like the powerhouse. So if your cells are revving up, all the good energy, and the NRF2 can come in and clean out all the negative energy, then our cells are full, strong, and they're able to duplicate like that, which means that, considering our whole bodies are made up of cells, that's everything from our hair follicles down to, our heart. So it's really important that we keep them healthy and full of energy, and we can do that through the NRF1 and the NRF2 pathway. Okay, so the third biohack is our gut. Because as we know, Hippocrates says, who was the father of all medicine, that disease begins in the gut, and that also means that health can, start in the gut too. So that's where we need to start. Now, our probiotic is different from others because it has a technology that allows it to go through into the body and release after about 50 hours, which means it gets past all the stomach acid. A lot of probiotics don't get past the stomach acid and into the small intestine and large intestine where they need to go. So this is a new technology that can do that, which is amazing. So I've really personally noticed a difference in my NRF1 and NRF2 since taking the probiotic. So I think, with helping my gut, that's also enabled the Protandim to work more effectively. Okay. Biohack 4 is your appearance. So our skin is the biggest organ of our body. So what we absorb through here is really important. Now, what's really important in this is that there's no nasties. So if you take a look at like there's no parabens, no formaldehyde, no gluten, no GMO, no petroleum. It's all very safe. Now, there's an app that's really profound in this, and it's called the Think Dirty app. You can download it on your phone, and it rates products, which is really good technology to have and know what you're putting on your skin. So we score between a 0 and a 2, which is completely safe and edible. So anything of 3, and I think above a 3 is not so good. Okay, so you can see here, this was my son. If you look on to the left, you'll see he fell face first into a fire when we were camping. And I'm so grateful I took this photo, because this was really the visual that showed me what Proteinum's doing on the inside, because True Science is doing the exact same on the outside. And I just put number 4 on this burn. It was a 2nd degree burn, and it was terrible. And I just put the number 4 on this because that's all I had. And the photo next to it was 5 days later. So I was just blown away by that, because, yeah, I wasn't expecting it at all. So that's a beautiful thing, I guess, to see. And that's sort of what's going on inside when we activate. And then the hair care. It is very new, and it's I've seen people with alopecia grow their hair back. So, I personally have only tried this once, and it was amazing. I gave the serum to my husband, and I saw a big difference in his hair as well. So, our appearance is really important. Aging is, a huge business these days. And so these products are actually the first to market, and there's no other NERV2 technologies in skincare or hair care in the whole entire world. So that is something, to be really proud of here, that we've got the first and only NERV2 range. Okay. Where am I? Sorry, it's not. Okay. So we're a wellness and personal care company that believes your products are only as good as the science they stand on. And that's why I'm here. When I found all these products, I just didn't understand what all this science was. The, oxidative stress, NERV2 pathways, it all just went completely over my head. But when I researched our products, it was a no-brainer for me. We have some of the most credible research on any products that are out there. So basically, Washington State University has coined NERV2 activation to be the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Now, that's no easy feat to come to that conclusion. This has been through lots of studies. Here's another one from the OSU, so that's the Oregon State University. When NERV2 finds a problem, it essentially goes back to the cellular nucleus, rings the alarm bell, where it can turn on up to 200 genes that are responsible for cellular repair, detoxification of carcinogenics, protein and lipid metabolism, antioxidant protection, and other actions. In their report, the scientists called it the longevity factor. Okay. Now, you're looking at a lot of logos here, but if you just look at the Australian Government Department of Health, it's just there in the top of the BSCG. That's probably the most important one here to us Aussies, because that's listed. We're listed as a medicine under the Therapeutic Goods of Australia. So that is a huge accolade to have, and that's why all these studies have been, have come about. So the American Heart Association studied this for 5 years. The National Institute of Health studied this for 9. And you can read all these studies that have been published on pubmed.gov. So that's our medical library, and that is where all credible research is done. So I do urge you to, type in oxidative stress and any ailment that you or anyone in your family are, concerned about, because you will be able to go and bridge the gap and see how this can change your life, knowing that we can reduce that by 40 to 70% in 1 month. So we've got lots of published studies in journals and in medical journals, but one of my favorite is the Circulation Journal. That's the American Heart Association's, I guess, guide, and that goes out to all cardiologists. Now, there has never been a supplement or a natural product ever to be published in this. We are the first, and they published our study because it was a 5-year-long study, and it was amazing. So, you know, that's credible, and that's why in our business we have lots of cardiologists, because they work in preventative medicine. So it's it's very powerful. Okay. Now, the fifth way we can biohack your life is your wealth. Now, personally, I know that coming into this, I didn't know much about network marketing, but I've been extremely blessed, and I feel just so excited to share this, because I've been self-employed for over 20 years, and I couldn't clock or tell you the hours that I've worked, and I definitely don't get residual income from that. So I feel that this business is such a blessing, because we all need to be building that residual income for our lives. So a lot of people sort of said to me, well, why is this medical breakthrough in network marketing? And we have a story, and it's a really, really profound story too. So back in 2005, there was an ABC News report that aired in, it's sort of like a current affair in 60 minutes. So that ABC report aired and basically proved, so John Quinones went in, and I definitely urge you to watch that. We can set a link to watch that under here. And John Quinones went in and basically tried to discredit the company by getting his blood work done within 2 weeks. Now, we claim to reduce it by 40 to 70% in 30 days, but he got his blood test done in 2 weeks, and still it had decreased by 40%. So that was a huge, huge thing. And this report basically aired, and we got over $5 million in orders overnight. Stock went from $1 to $20, and, you know, it was profound. But the small problem was Dr. McCord, who received the Elliott Crescent Medal for all his work in free radical biology, he was a biotech chemist. He wasn't a businessman. So, you know, this is something that really, he couldn't fulfill the orders. So he had to get a business analyst in. We were in the stores of GNC. We were in, you know, the retail sort of cycle. But yeah, it just wasn't cutting it. So basically what they said is, nobody knows what this is, and it has a story. You have this ABC report, and you need to tell their story. So that's how we're in network marketing. So most products are developed for network marketing. Ours was not. We just happened to be in this realm because we, you know, that was the only way that they could actually produce a business, because Dr. McCord just didn't have that mind space. He much preferred to be using his skill set in the lab, which is where he's been phenomenal. Okay. The other reason that I got really excited was because of the timing. So the Direct Selling Association says that the first 135,000 distributors to join a network marketing business with predictable success participate in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, we are still on the ground floor. We are, I think, personally, a few years off momentum, but we're not far. It's happening in America, but Australia will soon follow suit. And we've had so much growth in the last 2 years. It's phenomenal. So I know that that's only going to keep increasing. So what we have here is the best timing. You know, we've got timing to build a business, you know, before it gets to those, you know, crazy ranks where everybody knows what we have, you know. And I do believe that this will be like zinc. I've said that since the beginning. Everyone will just have this in their household. Everyone will need to reduce the oxidative stress. Now, we're publicly traded on the NASDAQ, and that is a huge deal, because only 7 companies out of 10,000 network marketing organizations have this credibility. So to be listed on the NASDAQ, it's not easy. It's been hard, but our stock's been steady. And we've just had some of the biggest investment firms in the world buy up big in our company. So we're heading to places. We've just had Aaron Brockovich join our board of directors. and we're setting up for that big growth. So that's pretty exciting. And we've just finished we've rang the closing bell of the NASDAQ, which is amazing. Okay, so the other important thing is that we can build this globally. We have patented products, so nobody can produce what we have. We're patented, and we're the only ones in that field. So we can grow this worldwide. So that's wonderful. Spread the love. Okay, so there's lots of things that I've probably, blurted out now that you might not have heard about, but just take the time, and if you can, go on to pubmed.gov, look at the science and research, your own health ailments and see where this can fit into your life with the ones that you love. It's inexpensive to get started. And for what we do, I just think the price point is probably the most exciting because everybody can afford to be activated. And yeah, so I hope that you find a way to activate your life today. Thank you.
Thanks, Ali. That was awesome.
So I'm happy to open it up for any questions or, if there are any. If anyone's got any questions.
No, I just love that there's no competition. Like there's no other company that does this, and yeah, that's the best thing business-wise.
And they can't either because we're patented technologies. So we've got patents in every country we're open in.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, wow. So that's pretty awesome. They're hard to get too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's good. But yeah, it's done wonders.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting mine.
Yeah. Oh, it's done wonders for me. It's been amazing for me and for my kids, and yeah, I had to share it with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just